Pay attention to what we're about to tell you now because this is really important. There are many ways in which you can experience life, but not all of them will bring the same amount of joy, peace, and fulfillment when the game is finally over. In fact, it isn't uncommon at all for people to enter the last part of their lives with feelings of bitterness and regret. So why not prevent that by watching this video? Here are 5 good philosophies to live by. Welcome to Alux. 1. Memento Mori. Meditate on your mortality. The famous Roman philosopher Seneca once famously said, "Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books each day." The one who puts the finishing touches on their life each day is never short of time. Memento Mori is a philosophy that urges us to remember one inevitable thing. One day, regardless of money or status, we're all going to die. The phrase Memento Mori is Latin for remember that you will die. At first glance, the idea of Memento Mori may seem bleak or depressing. After all, who wants to think about their own death? But in reality, this philosophy is meant to inspire us to live our lives to the fullest, to make every moment count, and to appreciate the preciousness of life. When we remember that we will die one day, it can help us to focus on what's truly important in our lives. We may realize that we've been wasting our time on trivial things or worrying about things that don't really matter. Instead, we can use our limited time on this earth to pursue our passions, deepen our relationships, and make a positive impact on the world around us. Memento Mori also encourages us to be mindful of our own mortality in the present moment. By acknowledging that our time is limited, we can learn to appreciate the beauty and wonder of life in a more profound way. We can savor the taste of a delicious meal, enjoy the company of loved ones, or marvel at the beauty of nature with a newfound sense of appreciation and gratitude. Now, of course, the idea of Memento Mori doesn't mean that we should be spending all our time dwelling on our own mortality. Instead, it's a gentle reminder to live our lives with purpose and intention. It's a call to action, to make the most of the time we have, and to leave a positive legacy for future generations. In short, the philosophy of Memento Mori is a reminder that life is precious and we should make the most of the time we have. By embracing our own mortality, we can live with greater purpose, meaning, and joy. So let's embrace this philosophy with open hearts and open minds and live our lives to the fullest, one precious moment at a time. 2. Amor, Fati. Embrace your fate. Marcus Aurelius, the most loved emperor in the history of humankind, said it better than we ever could. To love only what happens, what was destined, there is no greater harmony. Epictetus, who was a crippled slave and faced firsthand the brutality and suffering of life, he echoed the same. Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that what happens will happen the way it happens. Then you will be happy. Just think about that one for a little bit. Amor Fati is a Latin phrase that means love of fate. It's a philosophy that teaches us to embrace the events of our lives, both good and bad, with a sense of love and acceptance. It's a way of living that allows us to find meaning and purpose in everything that happens to us and to live our lives with a sense of gratitude and joy. At its core, Amor Fati is about accepting our lives as they are without resistance or complaint. It doesn't mean that we should be passive or resigned in the face of adversity. Rather, it means we should embrace every challenge and hardship as an opportunity for growth and inner transformation. When we love our fate, we see everything that happens to us as a gift, even if it is painful or difficult. We recognize that every experience, no matter how unpleasant, has the potential to teach us something important about ourselves and about life. Amor Fati is not a philosophy of fatalism or resignation. It's not about giving up or accepting the status quo. Instead, it's about taking responsibility for our lives and actions and accepting the consequences of our choices with open hearts and minds. By embracing and loving our fate, we learn to see the world in a new and transformative way. We learn to see the beauty and wonder in every moment and to appreciate the richness and complexity of life. We learn to find meaning and purpose in everything that happens to us and to live our lives with a sense of purpose and fulfillment. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Love the hand that fate deals you and play it as your own, for what could be more fitting?" 3. Premeditatio Malorum, the premeditation of evils. Premeditatio Malorum, or the premeditation of evils, is a Stoic exercise of imagining things that could go wrong or be taken away from us. Its purpose? Well, to help us prepare for life's inevitable setbacks. In his moral letters, Seneca says, "What is quite unlooked for is more crushing than its effect, and unexpectedness adds to the weight of a disaster." This is a reason for ensuring that nothing ever takes us by surprise. We should project our thoughts ahead of us at every turn and have in mind every possible eventuality instead of only the usual course of events. Rehearse them in your mind. Exile, torture, war, shipwreck, all the terms of our human lot should be before our eyes. At its core, Premeditatio Malorum is a philosophy that encourages us to anticipate and prepare for potential challenges or difficulties in our lives. The idea that by mentally preparing for the worst-case scenarios, we can minimize their impact on us when they do occur. And this isn't to say that we should be dwelling on negative thoughts or live in a state of constant fear. Rather, it's about taking a practical approach to the challenges that we may face and being proactive in our response to them. By premeditating potential problems, we can create a plan of action that will help us to navigate them more effectively. This can include developing coping mechanisms, building up our resilience, or simply being more mentally prepared to face adversity when it arises. One of the key benefits of Premeditatio Malorum is it can help us to cultivate a sense of inner calm and stability. When we know that we have a plan in place for dealing with difficulties, we're less likely to be thrown off course by unexpected events. This can help us to stay focused on our goals and maintain a positive outlook even when things don't go exactly as planned. Of course, it's important to note that Premeditatio Malorum is not a magic solution to all of life's problems. There will still be times when we are caught off guard or faced with challenges that we didn't anticipate. But by practicing this philosophy, we can build up our resilience and develop a more balanced approach to life's ups and downs. So, in essence, Premeditatio Malorum is a philosophy of preparation, resilience, and inner strength. By acknowledging that adversity is a natural part of life and taking steps to prepare for it, we can live more fully and confidently, even in the face of difficulty. 4. The Dichotomy of Control. There are two types of things in life: things we can control and things we cannot control. This might sound like a pretty simple idea, but it has profound implications for how we live our lives. According to Stoic philosophy, the things that we can control include our thoughts, emotions, and actions. These are things that we have direct power over and can influence through our choices and decisions. On the other hand, there are many things in life that are outside of your personal control. These include things like the weather, other people's actions, and even our own physical health to some extent. Stoics believe we should not waste our time and energy worrying about these things, as they are beyond our control and therefore not worth our attention. So instead, the Stoics argue that we should focus our energy on the things we can control, meaning taking responsibility for our own thoughts, emotions, and actions, and doing our best to make wise and virtuous choices in every situation we encounter. In practical terms, this means learning to accept the things we cannot control and focusing our energy on things that we can control. For example, if it starts raining on a day that we planned for a picnic, we can choose to enjoy the rain or find an indoor activity to do instead. By accepting what we cannot control and focusing our energy on what we can, we find greater peace and happiness in our lives. In his journal, which was later turned into a book, Marcus Aurelius clearly stated, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Number 5. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. This insightful dictum is attributed to the Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst Carl Jung, who believed that true awakening and self-realization can only come from looking inward rather than seeking fulfillment in external sources. To look outside in this context means to be preoccupied with the external world and its distractions, such as material possessions, social status, and other people's opinions. When we are focused on these things, we may experience fleeting moments of pleasure or excitement, but ultimately they're just temporary distractions that drain our souls. On the other hand, looking inside means turning our attention inward and exploring our own thoughts, emotions, and experiences. By doing so, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our true desires, which can lead to a sense of purpose and inner peace. This process of introspection and self-reflection is often referred to as awakening, as it allows us to awaken to our potential and live a more authentic and fulfilling life. In essence, this quote is a call to focus on our inner selves rather than being consumed by external distractions. By looking within, we can find a sense of clarity and meaning that cannot be found anywhere else. So if you're feeling lost or uncertain, perhaps it's time to turn your gaze inward and awaken to your true self. And that's all for today, Alexer. Which philosophy are you practicing on a daily basis for a better life? Make sure to tell us in the comments below. We're always so curious to hear your thoughts. And if you found this video valuable, don't forget to return the favor by tipping us with a like and a share. And as always, thanks for watching. If you'd like to learn some more, check out this video next.